and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the semi-final stage of the Copa del Rey, and it is time for El Clasico. This right here is the first leg at the Santiago Bernabeu, and of course Barça come into this game low on confidence, low on form right now, but this is a Clasico. This is a game that you've got to find something within yourself. You have to make sure that you find a performance, especially in a semi-final, and that is what we have coming up today. We're going to be talking about what Xavi's plan could be, and I'm going to be discussing, especially given the injuries that Barca have, a tactical change that I feel could really impact this game in our favour. If it was to happen, I think we could see an exciting clash. We could keep ourselves in this tie, but it is all going to be revealed very, very soon. So let's do it. Now, ahead of El Clasico and with all the glamour that comes with this fixture, today's video, guys, is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped, who, of course, are at the very summit of the men's grooming game. Now, whether today you want to go all out on the Platinum package, that is Manscaped's luxury full-body grooming kit, which includes the always trusty Lawnmower 4.0, or maybe, guys, it is time to call upon the ultra smooth package for your more sensitive areas, because whatever it is that you need to get yourself feeling good, looking good, we know from football, guys, confidence is everything. That's a game changer, and Manscaped will absolutely take care of you. And to celebrate El Clasico coming this Thursday, you can get 20% off your order with the code TalkFCB. All you've got to do there is use that at checkout, TalkFCB, and thank you indeed for all of you who treat yourselves and to Manscaped for really helping to support the channel. Now come on, and let's get down to the business, because the big news ahead of this Clasico, of course, it is the absence now of Robert Lewandowski. That was the huge news that broke on Monday. He has a hamstring injury and he will not be available for this game. I think there's no doubt at all that that is a significant blow for Barca. He is our top goal scorer by a country mile in La Liga. He's been our main source of goals this season, but I think a lot of people would also say Lewandowski wasn't exactly in the best run of form. And there is absolutely no denying there has been a clear drop-off over these past few weeks now. You look at his form, the early stages, the first few months at the club, he was unstoppable. He was irresistible in front of goal. And since the World Cup, it's just not been the same for Lewandowski. There's no denying that. And not only in terms of goals, but actually in terms of the overall performance. Now, I've also got no doubt that it's no coincidence there that a drop-off in Lewandowski's form has also come during a time where we have no Pedri and also no Ousmane Dembélé. We spoke yesterday about the lack of creativity in the team, and having those two absent is an enormous blow in Xavi's whole tactical plan, so we've suffered as a result. But I think with those three players out, three key players, we're definitely weaker without them. This is where the challenge comes now for Xavi. This is where the best coaches in a game like this, a two-leg tie, you've got to find a plan for now. You have to find a way to keep yourself in this clash. And that is what we are looking for from Xavi right now. And I think that's also what makes it exciting ahead of this Clasico. There is no Lewandowski, but we're going to see something new. We're going to see a different shape, perhaps. We're going to see different personnel in a game like this. And that also means that Real Madrid might not be expecting it. However, when we are talking about how the game could look, when we're looking into the tactics of the two teams, let's start with something that we're very much aware of, and that's Real Madrid's biggest threats. Of course, it's going to come through Vinicius Jr., and it is also going to come through Karim Benzema. We're all aware of that. We know that as well. It's likely to be Fede Valverde completing that front three for Real, and what we have to do, guys, is line up with our strongest backline. That means Ter Stegen, that means Jules Koundé, that means Araujo, Christensen, Balde. Let's make that absolutely simple here. Let's not overcomplicate things. That is a backline that I believe can stand up to Real Madrid. I feel comfortable with Vinicius on the left and Koundé and Araujo to stop him. We know that's a formula that can work. I also feel comfortable there with the maturity, the leadership of Andreas Christensen, and the pace, and this is important also in our attack, of Alejandro Balde. Our strongest backline can shut down Real's biggest threats, we've seen it done. In midfield, I don't think either team will be able to call upon their absolute best trio. Real Madrid would love to have Tchouaméni available. It looks like he's not going to be ready for this game. And of course, for us, we would love to have Pedri in this position here. But I would bring in Kessie, and of course, I would also have Xavi then out on this left-hand side to make it a 4-man midfield when needed. So Xavi here can drop in to try and create that numerical advantage because, of course, Real Madrid are going to be trying to do the same with Fede Valverde. We've seen that in previous Clásicos when we haven't had 4 players in there. Real Madrid can certainly get on top of us in that area. If we don't have 4, they will certainly use that advantage. Valverde is very, very mobile. He can get around the pitch. He can get in to all the kind of spaces. That is why Xavi, I am absolutely sure, in this game, will line up with 4. Which leaves us with Barca's attacking trio. We've got Xavi on the left-hand side. Now, I would have liked to have included Ansu Fati from the start of this game, but right now the suggestion is he's not likely going to be ready to start this game. He did not train with the team today, which really puts him in a race against time right now, and I do not see Xavi putting him in the starting lineup, even if he does manage to be available. So it's quite simple there that we are going to have a front 3 of Xavi, of Ferran Torres likely playing there down the middle, and also Rafinha on the right-hand side. But this is the key now. This is where the tactical plan comes in. How can we make all of that work in a Clasico? Because usually, guys, when you're looking here at the two teams coming up against each other in a Clasico, it's certainly always a case of Barça want the ball, whether it's home, whether it's away in El Clasico. We want full control of this game, and we're going to try and squeeze Real Madrid as much as we possibly can. We've seen it many, many times indeed. Real Madrid are playing the ball out of the back. You know that Barca here are going to press very high. They're going to go high up the field. They're going to press from the front. And the good thing about this system already is that each one of those front 3, Rafinha, Ferran, Xavi, they can all press, and they can press with real intensity and real energy. That is certainly a positive here of having those players who are very mobile. They're all youthful as well. They can certainly get about the front of the field to close Real Madrid down. So we've often been in Clásicos in this sort of position here where Real Madrid are certainly being pressed high. We're certainly high at the pitch. You can see there how high our line is, and that is a position that we often get ourselves in a Clásico. Now, if we can win the ball back very high at the field, if we can actually win the ball back, we've seen it many times this season in those areas, that will certainly be a positive. Of course, we've got players then that if you're getting the ball there, you have players that can hurt Real Madrid, and that'll be the plan certainly from Xavi. But, and this is the key right now, I don't think we should do this for the whole game. Because there's 2 examples that I would give you right now, looking at the way that Barca should approach this Clásico. Number 1, think back to the Manchester United game in the second leg at Old Trafford. Man United in the early stages of that game really pressed us high. They went at us, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and they really took the game to us, and we knew we were in a fight. So I think from the first whistle, go for Real Madrid. Let them know that we're not afraid of them. We're not going to be intimidated by the Bernabeu. We are ready to take this game to them. But United didn't do it for the whole game. United did not press us all game long high up the field. There was times where they dropped off. They certainly pressed there in stages, key moments to put pressure on ourselves, which is something we can do. But there's something else as well, because I would also take, in a game like this with the injuries that we have, I would take inspiration from the game at the Bernabeu last season, the 4-0 victory. I think we can learn a lot from that game here. I think we can try and actually recreate some of those passages of play with the players that we have now. With no Lewandowski, there might be more of a case to do that, because if you do think about it, when you're looking at this setup here, it's great certainly if we can win the ball back. It's great here certainly if we can put the pressure on Real Madrid, but this is also the kind of situation that they're waiting for. If they can manoeuvre their way out of these areas here and actually get the ball into midfield, you know they want this situation. They want all of that space, just as Man United did against us there, with Vinicius getting in behind. Now, of course, we have cover. We have players that can protect against that. But the point for this would be, with me, does it always have to be that way? Because given that it is a first leg, this is just number 1 of 2 legs in a semi-final, I think there might be periods of this game where actually we just drop off a little bit. We actually don't go and force the issue and really press Real Madrid high. There may be periods of this game where we just allow ourselves to sit off. And the number one reason behind that is, I think that defence is good enough to absorb pressure. There will be points in this game where we might actually invite Real Madrid on. Now, it might seem like a dangerous tactic, and it may well be, but at the end of the day, we've got to deal with what we've got. With the injuries that we have, there may be periods in this game where we can say, well, come on then, Real Madrid, come forward, invite them into our half, invite them high up the field, and actually change everything around and say, you're the one with the high line now. You are the ones that are exposed and have left yourself open defensively, because then thinking back to that 4-0 at the Bernabeu, we can break. We can actually try to turn the ball over in this sort of area here, try and close down the pass, try and shut down the angle. If we were able to win that ball back, use some pace about our game. Xavi spoke about it after the Almeria game. He said, we need more pace. Well, I'll tell you this now. You can use Rafinha up against Nacho there. That is certainly a mismatch. Rafinha should be getting the better of him in that area. You've got Xavi up against Carvajal, but you haven't. Because actually, the man that you want to use there is Alejandro Balde. We saw it in the Super Cup. The pace that he possesses, he has the ability to shred Dani Carvajal and even Ferran Torres. We saw it there in the 4-0 at the Bernabeu. He can be effective. He can make runs. He can be intelligent. He can get himself into good positions. And if we just invite Real Madrid on, if we actually let them take control of the ball, let them have it, let them advance into our half, we have the players, we have the pace to hurt them on the counter-attack, to play them at times at their own game. Because we have to be flexible far too often at Barcelona. Even now we've got injuries, even now we've got absences, we'll still say, oh, we need to play the same way. We need to keep doing the same things all the time, the same. Sometimes now, and in modern football, you've got to adapt. You have to try different things. You have to apply yourself in a different way. And in a first leg, let's do something here to keep us in the game, keep us in the tie. We need a performance. We need a plan. And I really hope Xavi can produce it. So that there, guys, is indeed the full tactical preview ahead of Real Madrid against Barça in the Copa del Rey semi-final. What I would like to know from you in the comments down below is, what would you do? Given the injuries that we have, given the run of form that Barça are on right now, given how big this game is, what would your plan be? If you were in Xavi's shoes right now, what selections and decisions would you be making? I will, of course, see you guys tomorrow. The full match preview is coming on the channel. I also have some exciting news to bring you in that video. It is all going to be coming your way. This is such an important time for us. It can be a defining moment, maybe, in our season. I will see you soon for all of the build-up as it continues. And I thank you indeed for joining me here today and for all of your support. We can do this. We have to believe that we can do this. And until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.